The Logan Act is an obscure but fascinating law in the United States Code. It prohibits private citizens from engaging in unauthorized diplomacy with foreign governments. This law has its roots in a diplomatic incident involving George Logan, a Philadelphia Quaker, in 1798. The United States and France were on the brink of war during this period. The XYZ affair, a bribery scandal involving French diplomats, had inflamed tensions between the two nations. George Logan, a pacifist, decided to take matters into his own hands. Logan traveled to France without the permission of President John Adams. He aimed to negotiate peace directly with the French government. Logan believed that he could succeed where official diplomacy had failed. Logan's mission was controversial from the start. Many Americans viewed his actions as treasonous. They argued that he was undermining the government's authority. Logan's trip to France had significant consequences. It directly led to the passage of the Logan Act in 1799. This law, named after Logan, makes it a crime for a private citizen to negotiate with a foreign government without authorization. The Logan Act was a direct response to Logan's actions. President John Adams, who signed the act into law, believed that private citizens should not interfere in diplomatic affairs. The act aimed to prevent future incidents like Logan's unauthorized mission. The Logan Act remained largely dormant for much of its history. It was rarely invoked and never successfully used to prosecute anyone. However, the act remained on the books, a relic of a bygone era of diplomacy. In 1994, Congress amended the Logan Act. The amendment clarified the definition of foreign government to include any political party or faction within a foreign state. This amendment aimed to modernize the act and broaden its scope. Despite its long history, the Logan Act has only been used to indict two individuals. The first was Francis Barlow, a lawyer accused of attempting to influence a case involving Germany in 1947. However, the charges against Barlow were eventually dismissed. The second indictment occurred in 1975. The target was Philip Agee, a former CIA officer accused of revealing classified information to foreign governments. However, the government dropped the charges against Agee before the case went to trial. The Logan Act's limited use in prosecutions highlights its controversial nature. Critics argue that the act is unconstitutionally vague and infringes upon the First Amendment right to free speech. They also argue that it is unnecessary, as other laws already cover espionage and treason. In recent years, there have been renewed calls to invoke the Logan Act. Some have argued that it could be used to prosecute individuals who engage in unauthorized diplomacy with foreign adversaries. However, the Act's vague language and its history of limited enforcement make it an unlikely tool for prosecution. The Logan Act remains a subject of debate among legal scholars and policymakers. Some argue that it is an outdated law that should be repealed. Others believe that it serves a valuable purpose in deterring private citizens from interfering in diplomatic affairs. The future of the Logan Act remains uncertain. However, its long and controversial history highlights the delicate balance between individual rights and national security. The act serves as a reminder that unauthorized diplomacy can have serious consequences. The Logan Act has never been successfully used to convict anyone. This is likely due to the act's vague language and the difficulty of proving intent. The act's lack of enforcement has led some to label it a toothless tiger.